Hello everyone, Jeremy here, and today I'm going to be taking a look at a Funko Pop Vinyl figure from the Marvel Universe. This is Deadpool. It is a bobblehead Deadpool, and I picked him up from Target for about $7.99. This is the second Funko Pop Vinyl figure that I've purchased, the first one being the Dancing Groot, and this Deadpool should be a very nice addition to my ever-growing collection. So let's take a look at this packaging, and we can see all the other characters that are available in this particular line of Marvel figures. But mind you, Funko has a ton of other Pop Vinyl figures from a variety of different television shows and movies and comics and games. It's just all over the place. But for right now, let's get a closer look at Deadpool. You know, Deadpool has seen a resurgence in popularity lately, and it may have something to do with the video game that came out, I think it was last year in 2014, and perhaps it's the upcoming Deadpool movie, but, you know, he is really starting to get a lot of play, which is interesting because when he first showed up in, I forget which X-Men movie it was, when Ryan Reynolds played him, you know, he wasn't as popular back then, but he is now, and it's great to get this little figure from him. Now, he is a bobblehead, and just like all the other pop vinyl figures, it's done really well. You know, the paint is usually very clean on this guy. I don't really see any issues with splotching or paint mixing or little cuts in the paint and stuff like that. You know, it's just a really fun version of Deadpool, and I think that a bobblehead is actually very fitting for Deadpool because he is sort of like a comical anti-hero-ish type of character. So Deadpool strikes me as a character who would have his own bobblehead and will probably give you a bobblehead of his own before he cuts your head off. That's just kind of personality he has. And cool thing is, he's got his sword in his left hand, and he's got his gun in the right hand, kind of like a Uzi submachine gun type dealy going on. And check out his belt. I don't know if you can see his belt, but it kind of has his insignia on it. Kind of like right there, it's got the black around with the white eyes. You know, very similar to Deadpool. And the way that he looks in the comics and just about every other iteration of him. They also have the little ridge where his nose is, and that's also a very nice touch. And, you know, I am never really disappointed with these Funko Pop vinyl figures, and this Deadpool is no exception. Even though it's a bobblehead, you can't really see it when you're looking at it straight on, but if you just kind of look underneath, you can see the spring for the bobble, and I'm really happy that you can't notice that when the character is just being displayed. That would have hurt it to me if you can see the spring in the bobble, but you can't, and that makes this really cool. Now, if you wanted to display him somewhere, you would have to stick him down, like if you wanted to put him in your car so he can bobble around, but his head has some really good bobbling action because of that spring. Unlike the Groot figure, in which the spring was not visible, and even though it is also a bobblehead, it doesn't bobble quite as well. So if you are into bobbleheads and that's something that bothers you, then that's something to look out for the Groot figure. But if you don't care one way or another, then, and you're a fan of Deadpool, this is a good buy. I got this from Target, and I think it was $7.99 for this particular one. And my Target has been stocking quite a few pop vinyl figures from Funko, as well as the ones that come with cloth material, and those are $20. I don't have any of those yet, but this is Deadpool, and he is a great addition to your collection of pop vinyl figures, especially if you're into comics and the Marvel Universe in general. So thanks so much for watching, and until next time, I'm Jeremy, and I'll talk to you later.